Live from Yonge and Dundas, welcome to 2 hours of Toronto's news.
Right now on CityNews at 5, your top stories.
It brings everybody together.
It's awesome. It's great. Fantastic.
An old flame comes to town.
That flame has been around for a long, long time.
As the Olympic spirit ignites in Toronto.
Are you a little nervous? You know, I don't want to drop it or trip or anything.
Yeah, no kidding.
Where you can get a glimpse of the torch as it passes through.
What do we need to do to grow stronger?
Selling the LCBO to cover an IOU.
People end up paying more and getting very little when these assets are sold off.
How a record deficit could lead to a fire sale of Crown corporations.
He can't handle money. Give this guy money and he throws it away.
Climate clashes heat up in Copenhagen. Protesters try to crash the UN summit.
Join the People's Assembly!
As a deadline looms for a global carbon deal.
Climate justice now!
It's hard not to spend.
Going on a shopping spree.
Canadians are just feeling a little bit more upbeat this year.
Why tough times are not keeping Canadians from the gift of giving this Christmas.
Always on a budget, and usually it's the wife's budget, so...
Do you know you're one of 120 million people who ended up watching that video?
I do, actually, because I saw the hits on there.
From mouse click to worldwide sensation.
I heard it from a coworker, and we watched it at work. It was good. It was really sweet, and it was funny at the same time.
Which top 5 YouTube videos kept us online in 2009?
Good afternoon. The Olympic torch is lighting a bright path toward Toronto.
We're live now to Pam Seidel, who is tracking the iconic flame as it comes in from the east. Pam, how are things looking?
Great, Roger. Thank you very much. Yes, I am in OSHAWA, where the torch is expected to arrive at about 7 o'clock, so still a couple of hours away. There will be a big sort of pre-event show going on here. That starts at about 5:45. So right now, just sort of some sound checks going on and the setup. But of course, the expectation is that this parking lot and the streets of Oshawa will be filled with thousands of people here to welcome the torch's arrival. The final torchbearer, in fact, will be running right beside us here along this bank of porta potties and getting to the stage where he will go up on the stage and light a cauldron. So the excitement is definitely beginning to build, and it is spreading westward as the torch, the flame, makes its way from east to west. We were in Lindsay this morning for the torch's arrival there, and we discovered the Olympic spirit is on proud display. Are you a little nervous?
A little bit. You know, I don't want to drop it or trip or anything.
Yeah.
Girls soccer coach AMAN LALLY got the thrill of a lifetime as the first torchbearer to bring the Olympic flame into the outskirts of Lindsay. She ran her 300 meters before handing it off to the next participant in the Olympic relay, just 2 of 10,000 across the country.
Was it emotional?
Yes, it's great. Oh, amazing.
And in downtown Lindsay, the crowd was pumped for the big event.
I think it's wonderful for Lindsay. I think it brings everybody together.
Oh, I wouldn't have missed this.
There were performances and, of course, the singing of the national anthem.
It's impossible not to get caught up in the excitement of this celebration. The entire town of Lindsay seems to have come out for it. The torch will be carried along its final stretch here by a very special Lindsay citizen.
The eyes of the world, the eyes of Canada on Lindsay, Ontario this morning.
16-year-old Jack PRINS was diagnosed with leukemia when he was just 10. It came back a second time, and he had to have a bone marrow transplant.
I feel bad for him when he got the cancer. So that's pretty much it.
He has been well now for 2.5 years, and the town seems to agree the popular student is a very worthy final torchbearer.
It's really hard to put something like that into words, that's for sure. I teared up there when I got on stage, that many people cheering for you. That's just so inspiring, and it just goes to show how people in the community can get together and make something great happen.
It is quite heavy, isn't it?
Torchbearer gets to keep the torch after passing on the flame, which does not get extinguished for the duration of the 106-day relay. The team will travel 45,000 kilometers all over Canada before winding up in Vancouver February 12th for the opening ceremonies.
I think this is going to be one of the most successful Olympics for Canada in the history of the Olympics. Our people are going to do a remarkable job, and it's gold, 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 Canada gold.
There's no question the excitement is infectious. And behind me on the Jumbotron, there is a map of the route that the torch relay has taken. It is massive. Of course, the flame came from Athens to Victoria in October. At the end of October, it began its circuitous route across the country. It went around across the northern part of the country, at first all the way to Newfoundland, and now is heading back west along the southern part. It will visit over 1,000 communities. And one of the ideas is that almost everybody in the country should not have to travel more than an hour to get to one of these locations. So it really is, the idea is to include and physically connect as many Canadians as possible. So we're watching what's happening here in Oshawa. We're expecting it to arrive in a couple of hours. We'll be checking in throughout the show. For now, it's back to the newsroom.
All right, thanks very much, Pam. And of course, the torch will be warming up Toronto tomorrow. Francis D'Souza's live at City Hall with the party celebrations that are in preparation right now. Francis?
Oh, yes, Roger. And what a party it is going to be here at Nathan Phillips Square tomorrow. This ground here will be packed. They're actually setting up the stage right now, lighting it all up, making sure all the last-minute finishing touches are in place. But today, I got to speak to some of the lucky few who will help the flame make its way into the heart of the city.
I happened to be in a restaurant this morning having a cup of coffee, and a lady I see there all the time, and when she points at me, she said, "Oh, I saw your picture in the paper. You're going to carry the torch, aren't you?"
This is the sweater.
Yep, the actual one with the moth holes in it.
83-year-old Murray Dowie is a Toronto Olympic hero, so it's fitting he'll be carrying the torch downtown tomorrow.
And that's it? Yep.
Look at that. He was the goalie on the 1948 men's hockey team that struck gold in St. Moritz, Switzerland.
It's a real honor for it to go through this city. We're a great city for sports. We always have been.
This is the actual Olympic torch. 12,000 of them were made by Bombardier for each of the torch bearers. Now you can see it's in the shape of a skate blade, and over here represents the snowdrifts on a mountain. Now this experience will be extra special for a Pickering man because he gets to share it with his 13-year-old son.
To me, it's passing the flame, passing the torch, if you will, to a future generation of leaders that will continue the work and to promote physical activity and to promote active, healthy lifestyle for Canadians.
The torch arrives in Toronto just before 2 at Yonge, just south of Steeles. Then it heads to the Scarborough Civic Centre at 3:03 for a huge celebration. Drivers should know there will be rolling closures.
To see people watch others have that Olympic moment and have that, moment of happiness, I think it overshadows any inconvenience of traffic.
The torch will be downtown at Yonge and Wellesley at 6:06. It'll ride the College streetcar with Murray, circle Sick Kids Hospital, then arrives at Nathan Phillips Square for a big party. When you're carrying the flame through the streets and you see the crowds on the side, as an athlete, how does that help you?
Oh, as an athlete, you just say, don't drop it, don't drop it, don't drop it, because everyone's looking. But you know what it is? It's a symbol of hope. It's a symbol of pride and hard work and unity.
Now, coming up at 5:30, we'll run down some of the entertainment that you'll see tomorrow night here on this stage. Live at City Hall, I'm Francis D'Souza. Back to the newsroom.
Thanks. Warming up a bit. The Olympic torch is heading west as it makes its way to Toronto. Hundreds line the streets as a 16-year-old cancer survivor carried the torch into the heart of Lindsay.
It's really hard to put something like that into words, that's for sure. I teared up there when I got on stage. That many people cheering for you. That's just so inspiring, and it just goes to show how people in the community can get together and make something great happen.
Well, it's a symbol of unification. Our community has really come together. Our task force has done an amazing job, and we're just so thankful to have Danok and the Vancouver 2010 torch relay here in the city of Court Lakes.
Crowds cheered and waved the Canadian flag as the torch arrived in downtown Lindsay. The 106-day relay wraps up February 12th when the torch arrives for the opening ceremonies in Vancouver. And now the torch is lighting up Oshawa, not too far away, and that's where we go live to Pam Seidel with the celebrations waiting for the flame out east. Pam.
Well, Mark, the torch relay began in the Oshawa area at about 4:15. So the convoy traveled from Lindsay along the 401 and arrived here at about 4:15. It is underway. There's a torch relay as we speak going on, heading in this direction. At about 7 o'clock, it will be in this parking lot. We're right across from the General Motor Center here in Oshawa. A big pre-event show is going to be going on here. Dancers, musicians, drummers. That will be getting underway in just a few minutes. And look who's joining us. The Olympic mascots. This is Orca and this is Sasquatch. Those are our Olympic mascots. Welcome to Oshawa. Very exciting. Excitement is definitely beginning to build. The crowd is going. They are expecting thousands of people to arrive here in the next few minutes. We'll be keeping our eye on it. We'll check back in with you in a few minutes. Back to the newsroom.
Pam, thank you. Live to Francis D'Souza.